Hello and welcome to Stream Tabulous. I'm going to take a look at this photo today where there's a lot of damage on the photo. This may be a long, more involved one. Also, a part of the image is missing, and we also have a face with some damage to it and low quality. So we're going to come through and we're going to see what we can do with this one. So we'll get on with the show. The first thing I want to do is we want to take a look at this face. Now, because an image like this has a lot of information going on with it, these AI tools, these scripts that go through and they read the pixel, we've talked about them before, they can get very confused. So it is better when you're working with a portrait. So what I like to do with something like this, and I find does help, is to take just the face, and then we're going to composite that back onto the image after. So the first thing we want to do is we want to crop this image, and we just want the face. I'll get the hat line in there. Might keep some of that neckline. It'll just give me references for when I'm compositing, when I'm putting it back over. They will be erased, but yeah, okay. There's our image. Now we're going to darken this up. So I'm going to go into the Photo app, and we're going to just play with the contrast, the brightness, to try to get some of the details on the face to stand out a bit more. It'll also show some more of the damage that we need to work with. So we'll open up Photo. There's our image here, nice and small. And we're going to take that darkness down. Make it darker. Let's have a look here. Okay. Yeah, just define some of that cheek line on that. Perfect. I'm happy with that. We shall save that. Okay, successfully saved. Exit this. Now we can color it. What I might do first, we're going to go into IBS and we'll just do a bit of a cleanup. If you're wondering what apps I use, I've mentioned it in the first video which ones, but also take a look on the corner of the screen and you can take note of it while I go into IBS Paint and import my image. Come into the gallery, press the plus, we import the image. Images. This would be in a showcase. This is in Photo because we darkened it up. Don't need that line tool. Beautiful. Let's have a look here. What do we got? We're going to use the smudge tool and bring that down. Find a size which is good for the image. A bit of translucency. Work with the lines. Just going to clean some of these marks off, which will help stop the scripting tool getting confused with what it's actually reading on the image. You can see this line here. It's blending a lot underneath, so we'll make that chin a little bit lighter. That's going to get very confused there, so we'll clean that off. Otherwise it was just going to composite a lump on the face, and we don't want that. Its eye could be difficult. Do the best we can there, we'll see how it handles it. Clean it off. But the problem is a lot of people want images like this restored where it's taken from a distance. It can be exceptionally hard because as we can see, the human brain is seeing an image from a distance and it is matrixing a face. But in retrospect, if we get in close to the image, there is no eye details there at all. We're filling that in with our imaginations. And that's how the human brain works. These scripting tools are going to go through and they're going to see this cluster and they're going to pick up on where that nose line is. And then it's going to go through a database of images that it's got and it's going to composite and warp an eye to that shape to try to build an image that really isn't there. So, a bit of magic, a little bit of tweaking involved, and we can get it looking pretty good sometimes. So we will save that. I'm going to go into Mint AI, and we're going to apply that color layer over top of it, and we'll see what that can do. So we'll go colorize, a little bit of arrow there. This is Mint AI. If you didn't get those down on the apps that were scrolling, we can always, I'll bring it up again later, and you can always go to episode 1, and I've got it under the descriptions of the apps that I use. Some of that may change as videos go on. Okay, we're not really getting a color here, but that's okay. We'll save that anyway. Okay, so we're going to skip that. We didn't really get a color. We're going to open up Remy and we'll take a look in there and see what that can do. Okay. We're just going to AI enhance it, and once we composite the image, we'll work on an overall color and we'll see if we can't get that working. May have to try a different color app. Okay. So I'm opening up this one with Mint AI. You missed it, but it didn't color the app. It just added the sepia tone to it. So I'm just going to use that anyway because with the sepia tone, it can help a AI scraper because it's thinking that it's seeing skin to know what it's looking for in the image. It works better than a black and white. Okay. That is not the best at all. We've got a lot of damage to the eye there. It's not picking up, so we're going to try a different app. We're going to close this one off. Not happy with that. And this is probably the first time you've seen it. We're going to run a different app. With my flight mode, it can have issues. So we're running Photo AI. So we're going to open that up. We're going to go AI face retouch. Trying to push ads, but there are no ads. We'll select our photo. Start uploading. Okay. That is definitely better than the previous one. Now we have an image where we have one eye which is in shadow. We have that jawline. We have the eye there. We are very happy with that. We will save. It is successfully saved. Let's look at doing a composite now and putting that image over top of the original. So we're going to go to Pixay Pro. We're going to get an image. We'll get that base image first. Is our base image. We'll go to Effects. We'll go to Insert Picture. And we're going to find that image which was just restored. You're okay to see this bit. So there's our image here. We'll click that. We'll apply that over top. Now here's the hard part. We need to get that to composite over top of the original face to give us a new face. So if we come up the top here, okay, we'll apply that first. Whoop. Have to go back now. Do that again. Finger glitched and clicked on a double apply, and we didn't want that. We only want a single apply. So again, we are up. We'll apply. We will blend. Bring that down to almost translucent. This is where the color difference also comes in handy. Now we'll go up to Effects, Transform, and now we can move that image into location over top of the original. This is where those lines will come in handy for what we left for the shirt. Okay. Snap there, where it will snap to the top of the screen. Pull it. Get in there. You can see the AI tools worked on the ear. Just get a bit of a shift. Just have a look. Okay, so we have neckline, we have the collar lined up. Looks like we've got a lot of the hat lined up. Snap that down. Okay, that's looking pretty decent. Okay, so now we will say yes to that again. Go to that blend. Bring that all the way up. Now we have our composite, the face over top, and we can come through and erase everything but the face. Okay. Come in. It's a big one today, so we may trim this video down. Make it a bit less boring to watch. I get into a zone when I'm doing this, so I don't always talk. I'm used to doing it and just being quiet. Okay. Okay, there we go. There's our composite. Okay. Want that? No. Export. There's a lot to fix in this image. Okay. We will swipe that out. Now, we'll try Mint AI and we'll see if we can run it over the top of the entire photo that we just exported and see if it picks up the color. So we'll go colorize. We'll find our image that we just saved. It's the first one in the gallery. Let's have a look if it can work any of this image out. There we go. Moment of truth. Oh, yes, there we go. We have a color. That is great. It's picked up the trees. It's done a pretty good job there, and that gives us a base that we can work on. I am happy with that. We will save this image. Download successful. Now, we're going to open up that image with our gallery. Okay. We have our image here. Now, what we want is we want half this image to fix the other half of the image. So we want to crop this image, and we're going to do a composite again. So what we will do is we can take as much or a little as this as we want. I am going to take it to the halfway mark. Actually, I might use that light as a reference point. Nice circle in the middle. And I composite over the top. If he's sitting fairly straight, it should work. If he's not sitting that straight, we'll have to tweak it and edit it. Okay, so we're good with that. Not going for legs. A little bit of that thigh might be needed. Let's take a look there. And back in Pixel Pro from here. That's right, it was a Mint AI that exported that. So we want the Mint AI picture. It wasn't Pixel Pro at all. So we want the Mint AI colored version. Then we're going to Effects, Insert Picture, and we're going to pick that cropped image that we just did. In Pictures Gallery, there's our cropped image. Here's the hard part. First, we want to mirror that image because we're going for the arm. We're going to enlarge it. Now we're going to little green tick once, blend, make it smaller, effects, transform. Here's the fun part. We need to get this image to fix that big white mark where the handlebar's missing. We're not looking at faces or anything other than that. We're going to concentrate on the arm and the handlebar. Get this to about the same size as that light. I think we can use that as the reference point. Okay, we can see that bleeding through ever so slightly. We've got the size right. Okay, we have the handlebar in. We have some of that shirt pretty much rebuilt. Okay, we can take a look at this. I think this is good. So we'll apply. We'll bring that blend up. Now we'll go to the eraser. Now we start erasing. Okay, looking for that blend of the two images together. We want the original head. We can see here, coming down, we're going to lose that arm on the flash somewhere. Okay, now we'll keep this tree. We'll keep that bit of the shoulder. Blend that in. Okay. Now, I'm building a new background while I'm at it. So, because we know all that's white in the corner, so we'll have to build that in. Come to erase. Could use a leg. Let's see where we've got the white. Okay. Paint that in. Just very artistic at this point. We're just going to erase and just work out what we want to build. Let's have a look at this. That's the original shirt, this is the original arm. That's not working with this image, so we will paint that in. Go for that handlebar there. Bring that in. A lot of that chest line is pretty perfect, which is really good. Lines up nicely. Okay. Some of the old leg there. I don't want that. Just that. So what do we got? There we go. There's our image. It's looking good. Okay. We'll have to manually paint a lot of this with IBS paint by hand. Blend in some of that background. We can do a quick crop on this as well, and that will just get rid of some of that white stuff on the edge there where it saves us using a clone tool and rebuilding. So we're going to crop. I'm just going to crop that right there. Perfect. Done. Okay. Quick and easy. We'll export that. Say Pro. Is exported. I am swiping off. From here, we need to work out what app we want to go into. I'm going to take a look at face. Oh no, I'm going to do airbrush, and we'll take a look at that face, and we'll just add some shadows and some details to it, and just see if we can't help enhance that image. So when we're looking at it, and we're matrixing, we can matrix more of that face and give us a better looking image. Just want to see where that exported. Okay. So now we have airbrush open. We'll open up that face. Take a look at it. Take a look at the lips. Add a hue to that. Come to the makeup. Go to those contours. Take a look at that nose. It's very slight. We'll apply that. Makeup again. Contours again. sculptured. See if we can add some of those shadows to the outside. Yep, it's bringing in that. It's great. Take another look at contour. We can take a look at deep. That's adding too much white. I'm going to kick that off. We'll go into eyebrows. See if we can find his eyebrow line. Always look for the eyebrow that looks the closest. It may take a moment or two going through them. There we go. That's perfect. Eyelashes, we'll add wispy to it. That's some eye back there. Okay. Done. Cannot complain with that. Shouldn't need a skin tone. I think it's done a really good job with that, but we will apply one and take a quick squizzy at it. Actually, that does look really good, I must admit. It's very slight, but it does help. We'll come down to these hands, and while we've got the brush here, we will just brush in on the hands. We may have to manually go through and do a lot of this, doing layers in Pixie. Not Pixie, IBS Paint. Okay, that's all we need to do there. From here, it's a lot of cleanup work in IBS Paint. I'm going to take a look at that sky quickly because we can see a skyline there. So we're going to go into Facetune. There's a lot of just working out steps. You can do it in different orders. It doesn't have to be the same. Open up our image. There's our image. Okay. So this is coming a long, long way to what it was. So we can see we've got the sky back there. We'll bring that down so it doesn't go into the image. So it's meant to be like a sun glare that you'd get on the camera for the reflection. We just want that very subtle sky coming through. So where before there's nothing, and obviously there's something there, and rather than having that need of white space, we'll come through and add a sky. And I filled in that image, doing the tree. I kind of like that. We could remove that and go buildings across it since it was probably just buildings, but I like the fact that it looks a bit like a gate, so we're going to leave that and we'll come through and do some manual coloring. So we'll apply that. We will use the clothing tool quickly and we'll take a look if we can enhance that uniform. Okay, it's masking pretty well, but it needs a clean up here. Sometimes you need to darken up this mask so you can actually see what you're getting. Don't want the bike, just want that clothing. It's kind of, I guess that is clothing there. Don't want the bike. Actually, I do want the bike. What do you know? It's actually going to work really well on that. It's going to darken it up and bring out details of it. And since we're not applying a color, we'll apply it to his hands as well, which will bring out some of those finger details. I thought IBS Paint had the burn layer, which was good, but yeah. Might have been an older version. Maybe they buggered it up when they updated it. It's one of the reasons I don't update all the time. But if you've got Paint Shop Pro, the burn layer in Paint Shop Pro does a very similar thing to this. And you just set the translucency to probably around about 10%. Depends on the image and how dark that image is. And you can use it to enhance details in this exact same manner. Okay, you see how that goes over top and it brings out the hand. Okay, come underneath his armpit there. Now, I've been told with the MPs it's only on one hand, so we'll address that as well. Okay. Mask didn't get that leg and we want that leg. We're also fine to do that. Do all that. Come down. Okay. Okay. I think that looks great. So that's before, and that's after, and it's making all those little highlights and the shadows on the actual uniform stand out a lot more than what they did before. I like that. Okay. That's great. We shall apply that. We shall save our image. From there, we'll go into IBS Paint. Swipe that off. Now all the hard work comes into it, where we're going to be just sitting doing layers upon layers upon layers. So opening up IBS Paint, we're going to go into the gallery, hit the little plus. Oh, we go import up the top there for the picture. Little hamburgers on the top side. That was Facetune last used, so I go into that folder. We open up our picture. Depending on your version of Android phone, that system of the import may be different. You might just go straight into the gallery if you're lucky. Mine's all words. So here's our image. And now we just got to come through and do some painting. So let's start with what do I want to start with here? Done a layer, but we'll go back to that one. We'll just come back into the back here. I'm going to use a smudge tool, and we're going to do some little bit cheating here, and we're just going to pull that image across. And you're going to matrix a roof. There's no real building back there. Well, there is, but you can't see it. You can do more compositing. If you're lucky enough to have Photoshop or Paint Shop, you can sit through and clone parts of the image. But this is about doing the best you can with an Android device, or just a phone in general. You can get, I'm pretty sure IBS Paint exists on iOS. Comment below if I'm wrong, or even if I'm right, put a comment. Okay. Bring some of that shadow across and give an illusion that there's a roof there. So now this is what it's about. So it's an illusion. There we go. That's much better. Some of those greens, just pull that over. So we can, that layer that I created, if I change that to, say, a color layer, and then we try to pull that dirty color with the brush, and we try to color that in, right? That one's a bit dark, it will work. There we go. Just color that in to bring it in to this side of the image. Erase there. That's better. That brings it in. Okay. And we'll do another layer. Do color. I like putting a very light blue, so we'll go to the brush, go to a sort of, yeah, that sort of greyish blue tone. I'm going to apply that to the light, because often the light's reflecting sky and the angle of the reflector inside of it, the way it sort of goes down and up, and the sky's coming and reflecting off the bottom one, it's reflecting on the top. You get that sort of blue tone to it, so it's not grey. So bring that down a little bit more. Okay, and it gives it that clean look. So we'll turn it off. So that's our before. We'll turn it on. We get our after. We come through, add another layer, color. Now this wheel at the front here is very dirty. We'll go to black. Paint that in. Give us a nice grey tire. Like do some of that framework as well. Yeah, do that frame coming around, down, and a lot of guesswork. It's very much an artistic approach to working it out. What color that bike was? I'm assuming it's green. Okay. Happy with that. We'll do this one as well. So we can see the back end of the bike there. Really pull that all the way through. Give some of those color differentiations between the image. There we go. Do another layer. I'm going to try. I want to burn or something. I want a dark color. Darker color? No. Color dodge? Maybe. Hard light might work. Let's try hard light. Even if it's black to begin with, it will work. We're looking at these shoes. There we go. Okay. So we can see a boot there or something. So we'll color that. Find the other boot while we're at it. That's already dark. Not much we can do there. So concentrate on this one. Let's have a look, and we're just going to go through and we're going to play with these. Overlay, I'm sure that's just going to stay black. Actually, that's not bad. Pull make it translucent. I have an idea. See if we can change the saturation of it. Yes. Bring it up. Yes. Because I don't want that black blending with the grey of the bike. I want it to be defiantly different. I don't want your eye to see it and go, is that a part of the bike? I can't make that out. So I want it to really stand out. We'll come back to that layer, which is the greys. Just going to do that bit there. And now I think there's a pedal there. Some sort of engine cowl going on. Okie dokie. Let's give this bike some sort of colour. Come down to colour. I'm going to go to an army green. My father used to own a bike called a Bull Taco, which was a green colour. That's okay. Doesn't matter that this is bright, we're just going to mask it anyway, and then we're going to go back and we're going to play with those colors until we find something that works. See some of the tank there. Here goes going to drive a fluorescent bike now. Some tank here. Okay. There you go. This is nice fluorescent bike that he's going to be riding around on. Now, come back into that layer. And we'll take a look at different things. Saturation's going to check blue. Hue works. If we duplicate this layer, little pluses there, duplicate it. Now we'll go down to the one underneath. What we will do is we will change that from hue to normal. Okay. And then I'm going to go to the bucket and I'm going to change it to black, and we're going to flood those areas that we just colored into black. Okay. We're going to change that layer into saturation. Okay. And then we're going to pull that saturation down. And we're going to use that as a way to manipulate our green to a green that we kind of want. It kind of works as a shadowing as well, because we can see as it comes over, you got shadowing on that tank. So we'll bring that down a bit. Okay. Okay. And just take a look at a different one. Our saturation didn't work, color didn't work. Just click each one of them and see what they are. Ooh, linear light's interesting. It's very dark though. Ah, it reverses our white to green as well. Overlay ain't bad. You can go to that saturation, turn it off for a moment. Nope, won't work with that. Okay. Ad's pretty decent, it's not bad. If we went to that saturation and we brought that up, pull it down, and too green. Color dodge might be dark enough. It's a bit distorted. So really that's what it is. It's just playing and looking for something that is going to work with our image. Nice purple bite came up there. Okay, we will stick with hue. That gives us the green bike that we want, and while we're at it, we'll go back to that sort of khaki color that we're looking at there, and we come over here and just flooded that. I'm just gonna paint these saddlebags, try to make this a little bit different to the rest of the image. Actually, I might try a khaki tone for that, because wouldn't they be a thorn or a brownie sort of color? So I think something like that. Yep. Here's the saddlebag there. Not sure what I'm looking at on that bit. It looks like it's joined. Come back to that khaki green. Back at the bike there. Come down to that. Black, different layer. Just don't want that getting lost with the rest of the image. There we go. I'm happy with that. We can come through and we can adjust some of these specs up, which I'd use Face App to do that, and just come through and keep that a clean. That's in. Keep that a unique color, I think. We'll come up, new layer, come through and do hue, do a bluey gray. We'll see if that works. Too much blue. Darker. Too red. Just want to give that a little bit of a metal look and just sort of have it pop out a little bit to the image. Duplicate that layer. Do that color trick. So we'll stick on hue. We'll flood that hue with grey. Paint bucket. Black rather. Should have gone normal before I flooded it. Okay. Brush. Go. I just want to manipulate the two colors. Okay, now I'll change that to track color. Okay. Bring that down. Bring it down some more. Drag that one over top. A little bit up. That's better. Yeah, perfect. Okay, I like that. Yeah. Now we have this on the arm. Apparently it's only on one side, the side that was there. So we're just going to smudge it away. Very carefully rebuilding the arm as we go. Some of that black will work as a shadow to the outer of the arm. We can just blend that in. Let's bring that up. Use some of that black as shadows. So you paint it out, but I find it's better to use your smudge tool and just like oil painting, sort of just use it and push your palettes and create those lines. Even that white will work. Bring it down. Okay. Brushy, brushy, brushy. Brushy. Pull up. There we go. Get some light. Bit of a arm shadowing for that where the light plays off it. I'm looking at like different parts of the image and seeing what exists there and going, okay, well this will work for creating the arm. Okay. A bit larger, a bit cleaner now. So bring it together. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit of a color over top of that just to bring it in so the blues that were happening in that black are less noticeable. We will try here. Come down, we'll go brush. We're going to pull a color. That color looks like the uniform. Just color that over top. Just helps bring those tones together. Let's take a look at what would happen on color on that same layer. That would actually work if we bring it down. Yeah, that works. I wonder if we need some more white coming through. So we'll do we'll create a layer. What we'll do, just a brush, we're going to grab some of these light colors and we're just going to put some marks on the image, just like that. And then we're going to use the smudge tool. We're going to push those and manipulate them to where we want them to be to add some lighter shadows on the image. Okay. Sure, there's a lot of other people out there that are way better than I am at this sort of thing. I'm working with paints because I am not a painter. Clearly. Okay. I'm happy with that. There you go. So I have built that arm in. Go back to gallery. Little dots, export, save. Go into that face app now. We're going to, face tune. We will open up our image. as our image. Now this one's going to take you a very long time, or rather it's going to take me a long time, so I want to miss a few, and this image will be done. Right, so you see all those dots, we're going to go through and we're going to try to work some of them out. Okay. Obviously the tires are very dirty anyway, so we don't need to really do much there. Boot. So okay, so there's our image. You can see all these dots in the bottom corner. We can see all these like imperfections where the image is falling apart and just decaying. So we're going to go through and we're going to work on those, and with the magic of editing, it's going to be done. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this. From here, you could go through and clean it up a little bit further and do what you like with the image. So this has shown you how to address a face on a image which is not got a lot of detail to work with, and from sometimes we need to smooth these lines in. I should go back into IBS Paint and I will clean that up. What I'll do is I'll use a smudge tool and bring it down and blend those colors together to create that neckline. So the basics here are how to composite and work on a face, and then bring a face over to the image, and using the editing tools to create a part of the body that's actually missing. So, and that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty well done, nice and easy. Also, don't forget to follow the Facebook group. There is a group where there is a bunch of people that are more talented than myself that work on images. And if you post some images on there, maybe I'll end up showing how to actually do it with these apps. So there's the group there. Get onto Facebook, join that, take a look, post your images. I'm certainly looking for more images of portraits. I love working on portraits. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe as well. So do that. Like, subscribe, get the bell on. Leave some comments below on what you thought of the video. This is a quick one on how to fix an image and use certain techniques to rebuild parts of an image that may be missing. I find it works well, and I will see you in the next one.